What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about matchmaking here in Call of Duty. I believe that in both Black Ops 6 and Warzone, the matchmaking is broken. The current idea of skill-based matchmaking or engagement-optimized matchmaking, as it's presented in these games, doesn't work for this player base anymore. There might have been a time where these systems did what they were supposed to do. Optimize your engagement, keep you invested into the game. But that's not the case anymore. That's not what Black Ops 6 and Warzone are from a matchmaking perspective. Both matchmaking experiences feel extremely manipulated, extremely rigged, almost like the game is actively suppressing you in real time, trying to pick and choose when you're going to have fun and when you're not, when you're going to be frustrated and you're going to enjoy yourself. And the problem is the fun and enjoyment are so few and far between that the frustration continues to mount and build to a point where you don't even want to play the game anymore. Have you noticed in Black Ops 6 just how often the lobbies are like half full? It's because people leave within the first minute or two because they understand exactly what the game is going to be within the first couple minutes. Oh, my bullets aren't registering. Oh, the game doesn't feel responsive. Oh, this is one of those scheduled losses that the game has for me just because I did well last game. So they back out. They try to find another match. They try to find the next game. And it doesn't work. It's not a system that promotes player retention. It's a system that promotes player frustration. And we're fed up. And I can concede the fact that there are a portion of players that benefit from skill-based matchmaking or engagement-optimized matchmaking. And this system works for them. That's fine. It's not about them. It's about the majority of players who are just done with this system. They want something different. And I'm not saying eliminate it entirely. I think there is a place for this type of algorithm. But not this restrictive, not this oppressive on the player. It's so clear that skill-based matchmaking also decreases your ping performance. You know, the idea of connection being king here in Call of Duty, that's not the case, and hasn't been the case for years, even though Activision will tell you it is. If it was, I wouldn't see the fluctuations in my ping so transparently. I get some games where I have 30 ping, other games where I get 120 ping. Why is that? Well, it's because the 30 ping games are the ones where I do well. I've got a good connection to the server. The 120 ping games are the ones where Call of Duty wants to remind me that I'm not going to be in the CDL. And that's okay, those dreams are long gone. But I shouldn't have that far of a variance between my ping, especially in a game where ping is king, especially in a game with a high population count. Like, that should matter, right? I shouldn't be getting games that are outside of like even 80 ping here in Call of Duty, because that's not the case when I go play the Master Chief Collection. I don't get pings outside of 80. When I go play X-Defiant, a quote-unquote dead game, my ping stays pretty steadily around 40, maybe 50 at the worst. And when I go play Dead by Daylight, the worst I'll get is like 60. But Call of Duty, the biggest game on the planet, can't find lobbies for me within 100 ping. Something seems off. And you can feel it. And even if you're not getting that type of discrepancy, you are probably seeing something similar to that. Where the good games, you have good connection, and the bad games, you have bad connection. Almost like it's planned by Call of Duty. And that's the problem. That's the issue. All of this is rigged against you. And why would you want to participate in that? Why would you want to play a game that actively wants to suppress you? Actively wants to work against you getting better? That sucks. Like, I play X-Defiant now, and that's why you see it on screen. That's why you're going to see it in the majority of my gameplays moving forward. It's fun, it's fast, but I also feel myself getting better in real time because the game doesn't have skill-based matchmaking, and it has a rewarding gameplay loop, counter to what Call of Duty has. The gameplay loop isn't rewarding. The most rewarding thing that Call of Duty has now is its camo grind. That's embarrassing. If that's all you have is camo grind, that's kind of disappointing, especially for a multi-billion-dollar game. You'd think the gameplay loop would be a little bit more addictive. A little bit more addictive so you didn't have to manipulate players' matchmaking experiences. But that's the situation we have in Call of Duty now. Because the gameplay has fallen by the wayside, because so many issues have intercepted the quality that this franchise used to have, all they can do now is try to trick you with algorithms and try to play on your emotions. Yeah, we're going to frustrate the hell out of you, but when frustration is at its peak, that's when we're going to deliver you a good game, an experience that is for you. I don't want that. I want the game to feel organic. I want the matchmaking to be rewarding. I want the game to be rewarding. What's rewarding about Call of Duty now? Every single time you have a good game, you dread what's coming next. You don't want to play the next game because you know, hey, it's going to be terrible. This isn't going to be fun. Bullets aren't going to register. The connection's going to feel off. You're going to go against CDL pros. Like, what's the point? Everyone keeps saying, like, you get one good lobby and then all of a sudden you move into the unemployed bracket of Call of Duty. Nobody wants that. And it's not the experience I've had ever before in any other video game. It's not like when I played Halo 3 back in the day, I'd go from, hey, this was a really good game to, wow, I'm playing against unemployed players. That wasn't the case. Every game was a roll of the dice to see you could get a good game, you could get a bad game, you could get a good lobby, you could get a bad lobby. It didn't matter. And the most fun games were those competitive games. But Call of Duty tried to artificially recreate competitive games every single game to the point now where that entire experience is lost on the community. My favorite games of XDefiant aren't the games where I do the stomping or where I get stomped. My favorite games are those close, tight games that go down to the final last few seconds of it. Those are far more enjoyable. And they happen far more often because the matchmaking in XDefiant is far more organic versus what you have in Call of Duty where everything feels and plays artificially. I'll emphasize once again that this is all just for unranked playlists. We're not even earning anything here. It's not like you can go in and show off that you're X rank. No, there's nothing to earn. There's no reward at the end of the tunnel. So Call of Duty manipulating this experience really makes no sense. But let's move on to ranked. Let's talk about ranked play here in Black Ops 6 and Warzone, because the matchmaking in that is even more broken than the matchmaking in unranked. And that's unbelievable, because there used to be a time where ranked play was all about rank. That's the only factor that mattered. What was your rank? But with Call of Duty, they have some more complicated algorithm because they have to. Like, I remember the days of Halo 3. It was rewarding to progress through ranked because you saw yourself move from rank 1 all the way up to rank 30, 40, or 50 if you were lucky enough. That was rewarding. But along the way, you'd play against players in the similar skill bracket that you were in. Meaning, if you were level 20, your variance of players you'd see would be between like 17 and 23. That's how the game operated. But with Call of Duty, it's completely different. You can be a bronze 1 going against diamond 3s just because the game is that way. Just because matchmaking is deemed that's the way you're going to play. That would be like being a level 2 or 3 in Halo 3 and going against those same level 24s and 25s. Doesn't seem very fair. And for a game that boasts more population than they've ever had before, the most successful Call of Duty ever, shouldn't you be able to match bronze 1s against bronze 1s? And yes, some bronze 1s are going to be better than other bronze 1s. That's part of ranked play, and those people will progress faster than the bad bronze 1s. That's how ranked play works. I don't know any other way to tell you. Like, that's just the way the system works. And this idea that you have to optimally place players into this game makes no sense. Because the rank should be all that matters. If you're a bronze 1, you play against other bronze 1s, 2s, and 3s. If you're a diamond 1, you should play against some gold 3s, some diamonds 2s and 3s, and that should be the bracket you play in. But not for Call of Duty. That would be far too easy. That would make far too much sense. No, instead, if you're a diamond 3, you're going to go against guys that are playing top 250, they're top of Crimson, whatever it might be. And that doesn't make players want to play. It makes the rank kind of meaningless, if I'm going to be honest. So why do people even play it? And then you couple that with the cheaters that are in ranked play, and it really just waters down and muddies the entire experience. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And this is where we're at with Call of Duty. Both unranked and ranked play are a complete mess when it comes to their matchmaking. And it doesn't look like there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't seem as if Activision wants to change their thought process. But they should. Because this isn't player first. This isn't fun first. And that should really be their focus. But anyways, that's really all I have to say on this topic. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you like skill-based matchmaking, or are you against it? Do you want to see a change to what's happening in Call of Duty, or do you want it to stay the course? I'd love to see the debate down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.